What is happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have an exciting knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Wixco Knives. This is going to be a brand spanking new release for them called the Fenix. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what your carry is. You always have a great presentation from Wixco and Monster. You get a removable RE there, microfiber cloth, and their new zippered pouch. And inside that zippered pouch is going to be this beautiful looking Fenix. These are going to retail for $72 and $79. They have 4 different versions, 2 of them at $72 and I believe 2 at $79. This particular one here is going to come in at $72. We have this beautiful cross-cut aluminum, a really nice blue finish, a matching backspacer here, and then this is going to have their standard deep carry clip. It is going to be left-hand friendly, and this looks like a recessed liner lock. Good access to that liner. It is chamfered. Lockup looks solid, about 50%, and we are perfectly centered up. Front flipper and a window on each side for deployment. And then this has an N690 blade with a gray pearlescent finish. Very unique looking blade shape. The couple of knives that they just released here in 2026 are some really unique takes on folding knives. They are not just putting out your routine 7-inch drop point, you know, with a crossbar lock. This has a good size to it, a really cool blade shape, and some good materials as well for $70. And that is without any discount code. With my discount over at Wixco, you can pick these up for 65 bucks or so. That's pretty fair for Bowler N690 and crosscut aluminum handles, recessed steel liners. Those are some really nice touches on a $65, $70 knife. And another thing I've always appreciated about Wixco, they don't go out of their way to put branding all over this blade. You just have their logo on the pivot. That looks nice and clean. Nothing on the show side of the blade, nothing on the pocket clip. This is a clean looking design right here. Let's go ahead and see what we're looking at for our total length. Is going to come in at 8 1/4. We have 3.5 inches of cutting edge and 3 3/4 inches of total blade. For some comparison knives, we have the Allenton's Tie Bomber version 2 up top and the Kaiser Begleiter 2.9 on the bottom. Next up, we have the Remet WD-107 up top and the CMB Explorer version 2 on the bottom. And 2 more, we'll go with the Monster Reaver up top, which is the sister company to Wixco. And then we have the other new release from Wixco called the Jugger. And as I said there earlier, they've put out some really cool designs this year. And it's not just a basic take on a folding knife. They have put out some really cool stuff. And I don't say it that often, but any of the knives you see in for comparisons up against the new knife, there are videos out on all those knives. If something catches your eye and you want to scope it out, I always have full videos on all those comparison knives, and some of them are very recent. We'll get the 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank out here and get a look at this pocket clip. This is their standard clip there at Wixco, and it has a nice off angle at the tip, which helps guide it over the seam. And it does actually work really well. It'll carry pretty deep. You'll have maybe 1/8 of an inch or so poking out of the pocket. Not very much at all. Good retention on the way out. Nice click there. And that is going to be surface mounted, but the screws are recessed. Another nice touch on this knife would have been a recessed clip and then a filler tab on the show side just to match the hardware, but that probably would have increased the pricing a little bit. It definitely would have. So I see for, you know, cost saving reasons, surface mounted is maybe the way to go for cost savings, and they still included a left hand option, But that would have been another nice touch on this knife. Next up, we'll grab the arch nemesis here off the shelf and give the new Fenix a weight check. I like to play a little game here on the channel where I try to guess the weight of the new knife, and I always invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and EDC gear, double check and make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I'm going to give this a go here. It has a decent amount of weight for an 8 1/4 knife, but it's lighter in that size range, I would say. Might be a little tough to judge. I'm going to say that this is maybe right at ratio. Let's go 3.6. 3.6. Oh! Always doing me dirty. Always doing me dirty. I nailed that. It's 3.6. 100 grams and 3.55999 ounces. So it's 3.6 is what we'll call it. I nailed that puppy. Nailed it. Next up, we're going to grab our calipers here and get a couple of measurements on our handle and blade. They are zeroed off. We'll start with the handle thickness, and a good average thickness there, 0.5 and 12.7 millimeters. We'll move over to the blade stock thickness, which is the thickest part of the blade. We have 3.1 millimeters and 121 thousandths. Ooh, I can do it left-handed there. We'll get a behind the edge measurement. See what we're looking at here. 20 thousandths. And we'll get one up here just to be nice and thorough. 22 thousandths. So it doesn't really thicken up much going to that tip. It actually maintains a fairly thin profile going out to that tip. So maybe not as much strength up there towards the tip, but that's going to give you better piercing ability because it is thinner. We'll grab our catalog paper here and we'll get a look at this edge. As I said, that's going to be a great poking and piercing knife. You got two edges there to work with. Let's see about transition. Oh, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Ooh, yeah. Very good. Very, very good. Very good stuff from Wixco. Let's grab our off-grid driver here and see what we're looking at for the hardware situation. Non-tooled pivot there, which I prefer. Our body screws are going to be T8. That's what's in our driver here. We'll check our pocket clip, and that is going to be T6, and the pivot is going to be T8 there. So T8s for the body and pivot, T6 for the pocket clip screws. This is a clean looking knife right here. It really caught my eye. I mean, so did the jugger from Wixco. This is a beautiful looking knife on the other side of the spectrum. These are going to be a little bit more money. They come in closer to $100 because we have some really nice carbon fiber on this guy. N690 for the blade steel. And just to talk about that quickly, since we just finished up the edge portion, N690 from Bowler is a good steel. Very comparable to something like 154 CM and VG10. And you might ask, well, why don't we see it that often if it's a good mid-range steel? Well, because it actually is more expensive to use Bowler N690 than 154 CM. VG10 might be up there with Bowler, maybe not quite as expensive, but it's up there. 154, Nitro V, and 14C are all very accessible and very affordable, and other steels like 10CR, 9CR, 8CR, those are all very affordable as well. Bowler is going to be the high side on all those steels. Maybe VG10 close up there with N690, and it's a good quality steel. So that's the reason we don't see it as often as maybe you would think we would, being as it's a good steel and would be a nice change up from the same old 14C Nitro V combos we see all the time. I would welcome with open arms more N690, more VG10. As long as they are done properly, that is what I want. The changeup would be beautiful, and it seems like that's what Wixco is doing here, and it seems like Kaiser is also doing that as well, switching up some of their more budget-ended steels. By the way, the Jugger is a button plunge lock and is insanely solid. This is easily one of the best button plunge locks I have handled. It has insanely good springs in there, a nice wall before you can even deploy this thing, and beautiful closing action, good strong lockup. I've tested this now twice since the unboxing and have not had a single issue out of that nice massive plunge and stop pin. When they're done right, they can hold up and do well, and this one has done a great job. And I know several of you out there who have picked up a Jugger as well and have been very happy with it. Now, we're going to see what the lockup is like here on the Fenix. We did check that. It's about 50%. It's close to 50% lockup. Let's go ahead and we'll give this a couple of tugs, see if there's any movement in there, side to side or up and down, and I don't feel anything. That feels pretty damn good. So let's give this a good thwack open. We'll start off with a light tap. We'll start off with a light tap out towards the tip there and puts a lot of stress on that lock. Just a light one to get us going. Believe me, knives fail over that. They have failed over that light of a tap, so it happens. Couple of good shots here just to get us in the motion. That was a good shot there. Close it and check it. Very good. It sounds good as well. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think we've had a single issue from Monster or Wixco out of any of their knives. That is excellent. Like I've told you in the past, if you watch my channel on a daily basis, Monster and Wixco, they might be new names on the knives, but they are not a new company. They've been around for over 20 years at this point. I think they started up in like 2003, 2004, doing OEM work for other companies. It's just only recently they decided to start doing their own thing, as well as continuing to OEM for other companies. So they might be a new name on the knives, but they are not a new company behind making the knives. So you can see that translate right away into the Monster line when those were released, continued on throughout that line, and then they started Wixco not too long ago, and it has carried through all those knives as well. Sure, they have some things that they can learn and work on, but so does every company that I am aware of at this point. But they do a really good job. They put the knives out for a fair price. They offer my viewers a 10% discount on their website. You can pick these up on Amazon, but then you don't get the 10% from their website, and they're stateside anyway. Probably shipping from the same place or relatively close anyway. They're in the United States, so not going to have issues with shipping from them. They're very quick when it comes to their shipping. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of the Wixco Fenix here? Let me know if you own any Wixco knives. I always look forward to hearing from you. Hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps push the video out there to more people. And if you want to be sure to see more dope knife and EDC content just like this, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I'll pop up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.